Thank you, friend. Shabbat Shalom's greetings to you all. It's always a pleasure to see you. I'm sure even though I was not there, that Ellen had a great birthday. There's no doubt in my mind that it was as memorable and as special as she is. And I'm sure that by the time some of you listen or watch this particular episode, the new president of the United States will have been elected by our good friends south of the 49th. Good luck. Now, this is always a special parsha for me. Partly because it's about people who mean a lot to me, and partly because it's the best time to think of putting a blessing for animals and pets into your weekly observation, and you should have them on an ongoing basis. They are our unspoken great friends and supporters, the true envoys of unconditional love in our lives. There are holy sparks in all creatures, my friends, in all life. Stones, rocks, mountains, trees, man, and animals. Nothing is void of these divine sparks. Let the soul of everything alive bless your name, Adonai, our God, and the spirit of all glorify your name forever, my sovereign, transcending space and time. You alone are God. We have no sovereign beside you, God of the first and the last, God of all creatures, Master of all generations, who is praised in a multitude of praises, who guides the world with abundant loving kindness and all creatures with mercy. God neither slumbers nor sleeps. God awakens the sleeping, arouses those who slumber, gives speech to the mute. And God loosens the bonds of captives. God supports the fallen and strengthens those who are bent over. Now join me, friends, and think of the names of your pets as we join together in blessing pets everywhere. Eternal God, creator of all life, parent of the universe, help us fulfill our obligation to respect all your animal creatures in our world. Please guide us to protect the sanctity of all the animals. In our homes and in our hearts, we ask you to bless Cassie, Einstein, Wilson, our wonderful and beloved dogs. Lord, in his or her unconditional love, I find a great expression of your love for me. Thank you for the gift of such a great friend. Blessed are you, Lord our God, for all your creatures. Amen. And I hope you all thought of your pets, whether they're current pets or pets you've had in the past. It's a time to honor them. Now, friends, it's hard to believe, but this week we finished the Cosmic Bible. Two small but powerful sections, ones that leave people pondering on how it all fits together, how it all came to be. And this week it's not hard to tell what the parsha is primarily about. It's called Noah, and it covers the story of Noah and the flood, a story found in ancient cultures the world over. And we all know all about it. Good old Noah built an ark like God told him to. And on that ark he took 2 lions like God told him to. With a roar, roar here and a roar, roar there. Here a roar, there a roar, everywhere a roar, roar. Good old Noah built an ark like God told him to. We all know the story of Noah and about the animals as they marched in 2 by 2. And I'd like to dedicate this to 2 Noahs, Noach ben Baruch and Noach ben Barak. Now, the last time I checked, God was the cosmic creator and therefore the God of all man. And even though he thought he'd made a mistake, he was going to live with it. Now, the Cosmic Bible now ends, right? And it ends with the spread of man to different corners of the world, with different languages. But there really is only one language, my friends, and that is the language of love. Now, the focus on the rest of the Bible shifts. The rest of the Bible will follow the path of a family, and then the family of man's attempt to be free. And we are still following that path today, trying to be free. Now, the last parsha ended with the statement that Noah found favor in the eyes of God. we do not yet know who he is, but we're about to find out. Now, this parsha opens, Genesis 6:9. Noah was a virtuous man. He was unblemished in his generations. Noah walked with God. Now, that's a pretty powerful beginning, and it's really very significant to biblical man what that says. He's described in the terms of purity that's later used in the Bible for special sacrifices. But let's go back 3 sentences to the end of last week. So easily lost in a parsha that began with creation, goes through expulsion from paradise, the first murder, and ends with the story of the Nephilim, which in biblical Hebrew means the fallen ones. Technically, as in those who have come down from the realm of the gods. But then the word might conceivably reflect an entirely different, un-Hebraic background. So it's kind of glossed over. And of course, their offspring were those strange giant hybrid beings. So we go back 3 lines to Genesis 6:6. The Lord saw that the evil of the human creature was great on the earth, and that every scheme of his heart's devising was only perpetually evil. And the Lord regretted having made the human on earth, and it was grieved to the heart. And the Lord said, I will wipe out the human race I created from the face of the earth, from human to cattle, to crawling thing, to the fowl of the heavens, for I regret that I have made them. Ergo, my friends, the flood. But Noah, well, his finding favor gets him a ticket to ride. He's got a ticket to ride. He's got a ticket to ride. He's got a ticket to ride, and he don't care. Now Noah gets the free pass. He's instructed on building an ark, a tabah, a box. Now, as my great, wonderful friend Rosemary noted, there's 2 types of biblical boxes. The ark for Noah and Moses is a tabah, whereas the other is for the Ark of the Covenant and Aaron. And we know it the world over as the Aron HaKodesh, where the Torah lives in synagogues everywhere. And I've talked before about how the English translation of ark creates a boat, not a box. Now right away we see what God has planned. Genesis 6:17. God is going to destroy all that breathes. As for me, I'm about to bring the flood water upon the earth to destroy all flesh that has within it the breath of life. From under the heavens, everything on the earth shall perish. And I will set up my covenant with you, and you shall enter the ark, and you and your sons and your wife, the wives of your sons with you. And from all that lives from all flesh, 2 of each thing you shall bring to the ark to keep alive with you. Male and female they shall be. Well, there are key things to note there. God's going to destroy everything with breath from heavens and earth, not fish. They do not breathe in the same way. A covenant is going to be made with Noah. Now, there are 4 biblical covenants, and this is the first. And they're made with Noah, Abraham, the people via Moses, and with David. And the third thing to notice is that Noah is to bring with him 2 of each thing. Right, male and female. And I'd assume that is simply for reproduction purposes. Now, that's a lot of information. Now, people the world over spend a lot of time trying to rebuild the ark, trying their best to meet its dimensions. And I'm not sure why. We get a great description of it. Friends, it is a box with a skylight, 3 floors, and a door. And if you put a box on swirling, churning water, that box is purely at the mercy of the current. It floats, goes, stops, based on the energy of the water. This is a story of faith, a story of giving up our quest for control, which my friend Viv had talked about last time. And remember, this type of container is the same that carried baby Moses to destiny. And we don't think of Moses' basket as a boat. We think of it as a basket thrown on the river. Well, it's the same Hebrew word, and that's why it's important. Oh, there goes a dog. Sometimes to think of things in terms of what their actual wording was. And you'll see shortly that this is the second great cosmic edit of the Bible. Genesis 7:2. Of every clean animal, take with you 7 pairs, each with its mate. And of every animal that is not clean, 1 pair, each with its mate. Now, what happened to 2 of each thing you shall bring? So now we have 7 pair of clean and 1 pair of not clean. Okay. So what's clean? Clean and unclean, sometimes translated as pure and impure, refers to fitness for sacrificial use, not for eating, as in the later dietary prohibitions, because there's no rules on the dietary laws, the kashrut rules. Now, in addition, a scholarship has often noted 2 versions of the flood story have now just been intertwined in a somewhat confusing fashion. Right? One of them says 7, one of them says, just the 2. Now, Noah takes 7 pairs of the pure animals and only 1 pair of the not pure, because he's going to offer sacrifices after the flood. And if he were to only have 2 sheep, that his sacrifice would obviously wipe out the species completely. So the clean and the unclean, the pure and the impure, refers to what was suitable for sacrifice. Now, notice also the description of the flood. All the well springs of the deep great burst, and the casements of the heavens were opened. It's awesome biblical poetry. And the rain was over the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Now, friends, this is a description of the reversal of day 2 of creation. Instead of separation of the waters from above and below, we have the waters coming back together from the sky and from the earth, all pouring together to wipe out, the land. It's brilliant. What we had done is now being undone. The biblical imagination, having conceived creation as an orderly series of divisions imposed on primordial chaos, now invokes the possibility of a reversal of this process. We may not have gotten it, but biblical man certainly would have understood that. All that had the quickening breath of life in its nostrils, all that was on the dry land died. And he wiped out all the existing things from the face of the earth. From humans to cattle to crawling things to the fowl of the heavens, they were wiped out from the earth. Well, life's never going to be the same again. And I will establish my covenant with you, that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood. And never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. Just the flood he's promised not to do. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant that I set between me and you and every living creature that is with you for everlasting generations. My bow I've set in the clouds to be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. And so when I send clouds over the earth, the bow will appear in the cloud. Then I will remember my covenant between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. But did things really change with man? Vegetarian man of the garden is now allowed a carnivore's diet. And this might have been intended as an outlet for his violent impulses. And in tandem with that change, man does not merely rule over the animal kingdom, but now he inspires it with fear. Now, our tale of Noah ends as he invents wine, gets drunk, and a very interesting episode with his sons takes place. Now, no one has ever quite figured out what it is that his son Ham does to him. Some as early as the classical Midrash period have glimpsed a Zeus-Kronos story in which the son castrates the father, or alternately, penetrates him sexually. The latter possibility is reinforced by the fact that to see the nakedness of frequently in biblical Hebrew meant to copulate with. And it's noteworthy that the Hebrews associated the Canaanites with that kind of lascivious behavior. But no one really knows what this is about. So did God just make a covenant he would regret with these creatures who have evil in their hearts? Maybe. But perhaps a more personal view of the story of Noah would suggest that the flood of worldliness lies within us, my friends. The rush of excitement about worldly possessions, job titles, money, prestige. If we're not careful, these can create a flood of self-involved and self-interested concerns. And when this rising tide of self fills our bodies, our holy vessels, then we drown out our light within each of us. It is a true warning, not of an historical event, but a call to personal review. Our values and principles are the lights upon which we live. And that light can go out fairly easily when we forget our divine purpose, to bring light into the world, to share, to heal this world, to restore health to it as a way of honoring the one who gave this gift to us all in the first place. When our light goes out, I think we all know what happens. And maybe that's the way we've got to look at the story of Noah. So let's all take a minute and send out healing and renewal to everybody we know. A reminder that our light certainly does shine forever. Sheberech Evotenu Bakor HaBracha Libotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Forgive me for a minute, I was busy watching a dog there for a second. Misha Barak, let us all have our spirits renewed. Well, the world is sacred, so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And into terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, good healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love. Open your hearts and honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time that you have. Enjoy the journey. Take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to love. So please do love. Send healing, goodwill, and love to all who need it. And share your holiness with those who are in need. Now, bless you all. A fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace and healing, for you to honor the people of your life. Good luck with the election. Honor the journey you are on. My friends, keep your eyes open to what you may or may not be seeing. Keep your ears open and listen to the world around you. Remember, this is an organic book. The lessons, the laws, the ethics, the ritual changes with the times. It's how it stays current, relevant, new, meaningful. It continues to provide us with insights and with answers. Remember, we do set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You do have that knowledge of what is good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person that you've wronged. And ask forgiveness. And do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land that is in sight. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading your holiness. Do not follow fear. The journey is there for you. Somewhere. Over the rainbow. Skies are blue. And the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Now, thank you all for joining me, for participating, for sharing your lives with me, your love, your time with me. I love you all. Look forward to seeing you all next week. Be well until then. I am on the road, and I'll be on the road next week too. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. Bye.